do.
Oh, right, but truly, is there a difference? The kind of heart attack a man would experience, is it different from what a woman will?
No, the symptoms are generally the same. It's just that there are certain heart diseases that are more common in women, and so their presentations are different. But most people, you easily get tired. So the least thing you do, you're tired. You shouldn't get tired for certain distances, like when you walk from here downstairs. You shouldn't get tired. But you see that you're tired and you're breathless, you're catching your breath, then it means there's a problem with your heart, or there's a blockage in some of the arteries. Those are the blood vessels that are leading to the heart. So the least thing you do, you are tired. Sometimes you are not able to sleep well. You are out of breath most of the time, and you have breathing problems. Some people may have a swelling of their feet. So you see some people, their feet is swelling, their face is swelling, their stomach is swelling as well. Those are mostly heart, liver, and then kidney diseases. So these are some of the things that are general for most people. However, there are certain heart conditions that are specific to women, or let me say common in women, and those ones are the ones that have to do with the small blood vessels that supply the heart. And most of these ones are the ones that cause what we call chest tightness. So you can see that most women who experience those ones have a very tight chest. The simplest way to explain what chest tightness is somebody sitting on your chest, or a big, let's say like an elephant sits on your chest. Yes, you can understand how tight that is. So that's what some women experience. There's also something that relating to stress and emotions. So some people have termed it the broken heart syndrome, when there's stress and emotion. And of course, it's women that allow our emotions to control us, or really affect us. I know we will disagree, but yes, it's mostly women. So mostly women are the ones that are seen to experience that.
God created us as emotional human beings.
Yes. So the chest tightness. So they experience a lot of chest tightness too, and the trigger, those who go through that.
No, they joined our camp. So
I'm not saying they as in women. What I mean is those who have the broken heart syndrome, as we call it. Those people, they mostly experience chest tightness, and then the trigger is stress. Emotional stress, psychological stress, physical stress. It has been, studies have shown that it's linked to affecting your small blood vessels that are leading to the heart. It blocks them in some way. And so you realize that if you are going through a lot of emotional stress and a lot of psychological stress, so it takes a long while for them to express themselves. So that's another risk factor as well. But specifically for women, during pregnancy, most women discover all sorts of diseases when they become pregnant. So women, when they're pregnant, then that's their first presentation of hypertension, of diabetes. But when you get this in pregnancy, the possibility, it can either go or not go. But for some people, when it stays, then they have a risk of heart disease as well.
So for those who get the gestational diabetes, then you also stand a high risk of getting
so when you get it in pregnancy, you can either return to normal. That's an interesting thing about pregnancy. The things that come during pregnancy, you can either go back to normal, or they can stay with you forever. And so once they stay with you, then it means that you are now hypertensive, you are now diabetic. So that is a risk factor for a heart disease.
Is that something that you can do to reverse it, or there's nothing?
No. So that's what I'm saying. So it's either when you're pregnant and you become hypertensive or diabetic, you may go back to normal, or it stays with you.
There's nothing you can do about it.
No.
Wow.
So that's the thing about women. And women who, during menopause as well, during menopause, your estrogen levels are low. So you are at risk of some of these heart conditions. And these are the specific things that are not seen in men, because of course they don't get pregnant and they don't have menopause. So these are some of the things that are specific, and that's why we're talking, it's not like heart conditions are always limited to women or men, but there are certain things in women that make you more prone. So that's like the stress, that's pregnancy, that's menopause as well.
Really? What's the got a question? Go.
I was actually going to ask, we being women, obviously now we know that there's a high risk Is there a way we can prevent it or to reduce the risk?
Yes. So the risk factors, one thing I forgot to mention is smoking. So when you're a woman and you smoke, you're at a higher risk than a man who smokes.
Why?
Even shisha?
You see,
It's a
shisha,
question.
you know,
I don't smoke shisha.
You know what shisha
For those
contains.
out there who are smoking.
So you know what shisha contains. They know what shisha contains, but whenever you talk about smoking, they ask, even shisha.
As if
Please.
shisha is cocktail.
I see.
They have it in flavors.
Yeah, you see, it's like, well, let me just digress a bit. So it's like a patient comes and I'm asking him, you need to reduce your number of sexual partners, and he's saying to how many? Like, I want to say, I want to tell you, stop, like, stop, but I'm just finding a nice way to tell you, and you're asking me to how many? From 4 to 2, is this okay?
We can start with that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so we know what these things contain. And so when I say that, when I say smoking, all forms. I'm not about to mention all other things, but all forms of smoking. You're at a higher risk than a man who smokes, even if he smokes less than you, if you're a woman. The other thing too is that you say you are not a smoker, but you are exposed. You are as exposed as somebody who is smoking. If, like, you're a secondary smoker, so you're always found in places where people are smoking. So like you said, you don't smoke, but you're always in places where people are smoking. You're always hanging out with friends who are smoking. Then obviously you are at a risk.
What if you've